Okay, so in the last program, we worked with this text file and we worked with the read method and like got down to basics of how we can like open a file and go and sort through some of the contents. Now let's go a little bit further. So as we move on, we're going to maybe be modifying some of these files, or um, like deleting some stuff or adding some stuff to it, or whatever. And using this open function that we're using, that's how we're like calling the file, and we read it, the file, tidy it up, and then close the file. Blah blah blah. Sometimes, you can run into some issues, like maybe some of our code prevents us from closing the file. So sometimes what we do is use a with statement. And a with statement we typically use when we're like going to be like modifying stuff. So here's how the with statement works. It's basically all I'm going to be doing is modifying line 1 a little bit. So we say with, and then that open, and then a text file as, and then we write the name. So we used file variable last time, and then we have to put the colon and kind of treat it like a function or a loop or something where we have to indent. So we're gonna indent that bit where we're reading the file, and then everything else can just basically stay the same. If we run it, we still get our program that goes on and on and on and on like that. So yeah, we don't even need like really that anymore with the with statement. So that's just a way. I mean, it might not make much of a difference now, but as we go on, you might want to consider using this way of writing it. So, what else? What else can we do? Well, right now this is just reading the entire file. But what if I just want to read like a little excerpt, like the first, um, I don't know, 10 characters or whatever. So here's what we can do. I can maybe name this like first 10 characters. And we're going through that same file variable that represents this, text file. And then we're still going to use read, but we can put like a value in here. So we put a 10. And of course, let me change the name in here. Now we run it. And okay, now it prints out, and you might see this as like, oh, that doesn't look like 10, but it's like 1, 2, and then a little like, whoops. Here, let me close that. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but it is reading the line spaces as a character. So the line space here would be 9, and then one here would be 10, because it stops. It doesn't read that third line space. So that is a way to print out the first, and we can do this like the first 20 characters. Now it's going to be a little inaccurate, the variable name, but whatever. And it'll print out the first 20 characters. So this is a way we can print out sort of selected items from a list. Now, what about if I wanted what if I wanted to read like the first 10 characters one variable and then the rest of the list on another variable. So we can do in that example, I'll put this back to 10, and we'll do like rest of, rest of file. I'm going to set that equal to still the file variable dot read. And we are just going to put nothing there. And we're going to see how this works. So I'm going to specify that this is the first 10 characters. And then make another print statement. Here are the rest of the characters. And then we'll put the rest of the file variable there. So now let's observe what's going to happen. Whoa. Okay. Well, we don't really need to see the whole thing. Let's just go. Well, let me clear it. Run it. We'll just stop before we go too far. So so let's just run the whole thing. And take a while, but oh, I see what's going on. Alright, we have to be super quick. This is, I think this is just a limitation of the website. Let's see. Because there just might be too much. Yeah, I think the website just can't really. So what we can do, I'm going to use my. Let's use this. Okay, there we go. So it says the first 10 characters, and then it prints blah, 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 you know. And then it'll print out the rest of the characters. So notice it goes like if we actually look at the text file, the third word is it has the same thing as the second one, but then it goes E and D. So it stops before it prints out the rest. So that means when we continue printing the rest, it starts like halfway through that third word. That's why it looks a little weird. But yeah, that's the basic gist of how it works. And we can like modify it a bit, like the first 50. Here are the first 50. And here's the first 50. It doesn't get too far because there's a lot of characters, but then here's the rest of them. The problem with that other website we were using is just, unfortunately, it couldn't handle all the stuff it was printing. It cuts off too early, so like that's what was going on there. But anyway, that's how you can selectively print out, a little bit. We'll get more into this in the next video, so stay tuned for that.